rude alert, abandoned shop. This is not a daffodil. Repeat, this is not a daffodil.
USB, there we go, that should work. Right. This is a different. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Cool. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Is everybody well? Is everybody well? Is everybody well? Is everybody having a good day? Yeah. Hello, hello. You should be happy the Games Workshop God listened to you. Why? What's happened? What have they done? Did you read the Zoe Mortalis splat book? Still makes me laugh you call it a splat book. I've not read through it yet, no. Hey Cryo, how are you doing? How are you doing? Splat book. No, I've not read through it yet. Hey Hendarian, how are you doing? Look at the very last page. Okay.
Good, good. Share our warpstone, and I will not eat you. Yet.
Veteran Breacher Squad. Veteran Breacher Squad. Lightning Claw. What am I looking at? Breacher Veteran. Veteran Breacher Sergeant. Vanguard 3. Bolter. Shield. Chainsword. Chain Axe. So I can have a saber. I can have a saber with a shield. That's cool. So I can have a sword and shield veteran breacher squad on the Dark Angels. Flamer Grav. Yeah, cool. 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 Nice. Yeah, very good. There's a similar option for the Solar Auxilia. Is there? Thank you for the shout out for the Mr. Cryo. So yeah, we got a couple of like bits and bobs. A couple of like, I don't know, I'm just sitting here chit chatting for a little bit. Mainly while batteries are charging and things. Because I've been a bit bad and the batteries aren't charging. Well, they are charging, but back to Lurk. No. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to do a few Death Guard models here and there, and then that will be 4 legions, which I'll have. I do have my little cup of fruit and nut. So I've got some cashews today, and raisins, almonds, and mango. Guess what showed up yesterday? What a noob! What's a noob? What's happened? Shields and power malls. That'd be kind of cool. Cat shoes. So yeah, I've got my Mark IV Tigris, which will be quite fun. Looking forward to doing those. And then I'll do I'll just try and get this sort of like yucky, tattered, chem worn stuff. What happened is that you didn't charge your batteries. I've got one charged. I do have one charge, so one is in ready. But I'm just giving the other one a bit of a head start to charge. It's currently halfway. It's currently at 50%, so that'll be fine. Maximus Battle Group, the Armiger mixed resin and plastic Forge World model, and Caiaphas Cain, Hero of the Imperium, and another Whirlwind. Nice. And Zone Mortalis book. Yeah, the Zone Mortalis book looks really good. Zone Mortalis book looks interesting. Yeah, I haven't got to breaking down one of these yet. I will pull one of these into Photoshop and do like a little color match thing just to see what I can do. I don't quite know why some of the shoulder pads are green and some of the shoulder pads are cream. I do quite like that one that's just like all cream and then the green trim. I think that's quite good. But yeah, should be quite interesting. Anyway, let's go to here and turn a camera on. There we go. Is there no explanation? Not really. No, not really. It's just what armor they're wearing rather than the colors. So there's not really any explanation. Explanation. Signon expansion. But we do have the Sikaran, which I'm absolutely loving. I think this is going to look fantastic. Absolutely fantastic as a Raven Guard one. And then the plan is to have two sabers on either side. Yeah, that will be the little heavy support armored wing, if you like, of the Raven Guard. Is going to be a Sikaran with two sabers. I think that's absolutely perfect. And then I don't have to fuss or worry about like trying to put a predator in there or anything, because I do have these two predators. I've got a predator. I've got the autocannon predator, which I've obviously extended the barrel, and I've got the Volkite predator. So I had those two as well, but they just don't quite sit with me. So that'll be absolutely fine. So we'll get our heavy support from the Sikaran. I haven't glued all this together yet because I've still got to put the little exhaust bit on there, which will be fine. That'll be good. So then they'll be suitably extended on the auto cannons, same as the single Predator one. So the Predator will probably be, I'll probably do this tank. This will probably be the first tank I do with as Death Guard, to be honest. I think I'll probably do this one as a Death Guard because I think I've got 4 Preds. I've got 4 Preds. Well, 3 Preds and a Whirlwind. So I've got 3 Predators and a Whirlwind. So I can put 2 Predators with the Death Guard, and then the Whirlwind is already done as Night Lords. So 1 Whirlwind and a Predator as Night Lords, and then I've got the other stuff as well. So that's absolutely fine. Predator would work as a tank hunter, but you have the sabers as a replacement. Yeah, the sabers just feel faster. They just feel like they fit better. You were checking Space Marine models yesterday, and I checked the Games Workshop site for the Honoured of the chapter to check if I had them all, and it didn't check the price at the time. 205 for 9. Yeah, it's silly, dude. It's silly. It's mucho silly. Mucho silly. Right, there's nobody on. Where are we? There's nobody on YouTube at the moment, so I'm going to turn off chat. And I'm going to turn off donations as well. Not that. That one. There we go. Yeah, I've got plenty of tanks to now split between the Night Lords and the Death Guard. And I also have a Leviathan as well, so the Leviathan can go to the Death Guard, I think. Because I've got 2 Leviathans. So one of the Leviathans can go Death Guard, one of the Leviathans can go Night Lords. That's kind of cool. That makes sense as well. Well, not that it makes sense. It makes use of all the models and stuff that I've got. You have 2 Pred tanks to make for the Red Corsairs. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, Preds are... I like Preds. I'll be sad to see Predators go if they ditch Predators. I really like all the old tanks. I don't particularly like any of the Primaris stuff, like the Lancer and Impulsor and shit. I don't really like those. Preds look great. I like the weight and the balance and the composition and everything. Where is the Saturnine Dread going? I don't have a Saturnine Dread. When I did the Saturnine stuff for Warhammer Community, they just sent me the Terminators. They didn't send me the box, so I just have 6 Saturnine Terminators. I do not have a Dread, which is fine actually, because I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of the Saturnine Dread. It's okay, but it's not like outstanding. I think the Leviathan is probably probably the best. Well, not the best, but probably the coolest Dread. The Raven Guard also have the Derodeo, so I do have the Derodeo for the Raven Guard. So the Raven Guard actually have quite a lot of dreadnoughts, because they have the Deliverer's Dreadnought, which I've done, which Avian didn't see because he wasn't on yesterday. So I've added the bursts, the little explosions from the barrels on there, and then that's probably going to go Melter. I think it's probably Melter, mainly because I really like the autocannon, so I want to put the autocannon on one of the actual Raven Guard dreadnoughts. So I think I'll probably give it the Melter, and also this one's going to be like up close, so that will give me a bit of kind of Melter punch up close. So that'll be quite cool. That'll be quite cool, I think. Hey Aspen. Hey Aspen. Dzień dobry, Aspen. Aspen. Could you show the arm cannon side of the Terminator? Just alert from work. Thank you very much. It's really appreciated. Thank you very much. Have an amazing stream. Have an amazing day at work as well, Aspen. Yeah, have an awesome day at work. Thanks. Yeah, there's a shout out. If you're not following Aspen, please go follow Aspen, because I've told you to, basically. There you go. You don't need another reason. So yeah, that's the Deliverer one, and then I have 2 more. So I've got the Moritat Dreadnought, which I'm going to do, which is going to be really interesting. I might try and work on that tonight. I might try and build and convert that up tonight. So that's going to be since when do we do anything you tell us to? Since today. Like, if you don't go and follow Aspen, I'm going to be very cross with you all. Just saying. Just saying. Because she's special. Yeah, so I've got the Moritat Dreadnought, which I'm quite excited to do. I think that's going to look really, really cool. And then I've got just a regular Dreadnought, which I'm going to magnetize all the weapons for. So this one isn't going to have magnetized weapons. The Moritat Dreadnought isn't going to have magnetized weapons. But then there's a third Dreadnought, which I'm going to magnetize everything. Joke's on you. I already followed her ages ago because you know. Purples. Purples. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I like the little flare, the flare explosions coming out. That's I'm still trying to smooth this out. That is pretty smooth now, so that should be ready for its transfer. I have to use. I don't quite have enough shoulders. I don't quite have enough shoulders for the contemptors, for the 3 contemptors. So I've only got 2 sets of shoulders, so I'm going to have to use the resin shoulders on. I'm probably going to use it on this one, to be honest. So I think I'm going to use the resin. Oh dear, it's not going to stick on. I think I'm going to use the resin shoulders on this one, which should probably be all right. And then I can use the plastic ones on the other 2. The Moritat definitely wants plastic. I think the Moritat one definitely wants plastic ones. I still say that Clan Skara and the Adeptus Mechanicus are a team up that just needs to happen. I'm still waiting to see a Skaven Admech army. I think it would be amazing. Sorry, I have Evil Dead Burn on the other screen as well because I need some. I need a horror film. I need a horror film today to calm me down a bit. When this one's finished, I'll probably put Evil Dead Rise on as well. Just watch the news out of the US. I'd rather not, thanks. I'd rather not. This is fiction. This is all like creative fiction. This is somebody's creativity, creating and making fiction. So I'd rather not. Which horror film? Evil Dead Burn. And then, I mean, this one, I think it's only got about 40 minutes left. So as soon as this one runs out, I'll stick Evil Dead Rise on. I just need a horror film today. I haven't watched any good horror films in a while. Horror films. I don't like recommending horror films because horror films are they're a very thin line. So you can suggest things like Obsession and Malignant, and like, I mean, arguably even like Hellraiser, the 2022 Hellraiser. That's a really, really good film. But yeah, I don't particularly need to watch Event Horizon. Yeah, sadly, I don't think that holds up. We've had that conversation many a time. So I don't particularly like recommending horror films blind without knowing you. But yeah. You like spooking and psychological rather than gore and splatter. So Obsession, obviously. Anyway. Yeah, Canada is. How are the wildfires going, Spiky? Yeah, Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne are brilliant. Yeah. Right. So this is plan. So we're going asymmetrical. We're going asymmetrical. So we got two whites on this side and 1 white on this side. This one is further behind, as you can see, in terms of tidying up and neatening up. And then we need to glaze a little bit on this top section. And then I couldn't decide whether to make the turret white or black. So that was the other thing. I don't know whether to make the whole turret white, just this front bit white, or just like the the cupola here, just that bit white, or maybe even just like bits of the back white, or whether to make just the turret white and everything else black. So the turret is kind of sort of open for debate in terms of how much white ends up on it. I don't know whether it needs it. I don't know whether it needs it. I think if anything, it's probably just this front bit. It's probably just that, which will kind of look okay. I don't think it needs anything more. I really like the kind of the asymmetry of just having this one white panel over on this side. So I think that works really, really well. Is your Smaug finished, or how's it going? Can't wait for the result. Hi, how are you doing, Pentricore? Smaug is base coated, so it's got some color down on him. I need to highlight and then airbrush glaze and then highlight again. Yeah, Smaug has, I've done his base, or at least I've got his base kind of sketched out and built. So his new base is built. He's been primed black. I've thrown in some reds, some greens into the shadows, and I've thrown a couple of highlights onto the head. Now what I need to do for the rest of Smaug moving forward is I need to start kind of highlighting and then glazing back. So I need to highlight with a we're going to highlight with Demonet Hide is the plan. We're going to highlight with Demonet Hide for a little bit of kind of a purple black dragon, which should look really cool. But yeah, accent white only. So yes, the sensor cowl. But yeah, as soon as I do more on Smaug, you guys will know. I will probably do a walk around on Patreon as well. So !Patreon. So right, yes, I think it's just that cowl, isn't it? I think that's the bit that we need to do. So yeah, it's a massive, Smaug is a massive project, and I'm certainly not rushing it. But also it takes a while, so I'm going to have to put some time into it at some point. And it is very, very cool. And there's my fruit and nut. Who would like some fruit and nut? What fruit and nut do we want? I'm going to go for one of everything. So cashew, raisin, almond, and mango. There we go. Nom nom nom. Perfect. There's graphite. Right, let's start with. Let's put. I'm going to definitely put that. Let's snap these off. So these ones, I haven't glued any of these on yet because I need to put that. Like I say, I need to put that second tube on here. So as soon as that second tube comes in, that's going to be absolutely awesome. So until then, they can stay unglued, which will be good. How right, okay, because the Dreadnought, where is it? The Dreadnought Fist, here it is this big, right? So the Dreadnought Fist is this big. Dreadnought Fist, that big. How big an underslung weapon do you think we can get away with on this? Because the Volkite, there's a couple of different Volkites we could use. So we could use this Volkite. So undersling this Volkite. Or we could use some kind of version of this Volkite. So this is the Volkite from the Sponsons. Now they're roughly the same length. You've obviously got some areas to remove and tweak around on this one, and then the little pipe work and everything. This one doesn't have, or this Volkite has like separate pipe work coming off it, so you could kind of theoretically kind of rearrange those, and therefore you could also kind of cut this down a little bit and have it so it's just the Volkite at the front. And then also, do I do it? Hang on, let me at least tack that together. What about the Volkite from one of the Leviathans? Leviathan? Do Leviathans have underslung Volkite? Is that what I'm gaining from that? Because that's cool. I did not know that, if that's true. So the other thing is, do you undersling it that way or that way? So that's the other thing. Like vertical or horizontal. I kind of like horizontal, to be honest. But hopefully I can make it work. I mean, I need to. I realize I need to build one of the fists. Body weapons on the Leviathan. Oh, the nipple guns. I mean, if I want smart, that was the other thing, is that I just use the Volkite from the special weapon sprue. I don't know where that is. I'm not going to be able to get that out, but I could just underslung, because the idea is that the Moritat Dreadnought is just going to count as one fist, one Volkite, right? So that's all it's going to be, and the fact that it's got two fists and two Volkite just kind of cancel each other out. So, and it has one fist, one Volkite. That's the in-game usage. So I don't particularly mind how big or small the Volkite are, because it's going to kind of like combine the two sort of thing. So I could just use the Space Marine Volkite, the smaller. Hang on. Let's just see if that glues straight together. Yeah, that just glues straight together, and then you need B12 or C6. So this just glues straight together. How would the fist work with a weapon? I don't care. I'm not thinking too much about that. I do not know. If the smaller ones kind of come in, then maybe there'll be maybe it'll look better. Maybe that is part of the. Okay, that looks silly underneath a fist because it's so big. But functionally, I don't care. Functionally, I don't actually care. This morning, my brain is not working. I see you are doing rule of cool. Ignore me. No, I'm not ignoring you, dude. I'm not. Stop saying that I should just ignore you. Shut up. Sorry, that was a bit of a. It was a bit of a It was a bit of a aggressive, I don't care. I'm a little bit emotional today. Okay, so that goes on there. That then fits on there. Now, let's very, very quickly, let's go and see if I can find the special weapons tree. One sec. Because it is just in this box. There we go. Also got the disintegrators. Okay, so what I could do is get the largest. Does that just glue on? No, it doesn't. It needs to go on there first. Okay. So that's that. And then what I could do is underslung the mini Volkite. So the largest Volkite, that's like the largest Volkite. I could just underslung that. And I know you could also put it in the center, but I kind of want it visible. So I could do that, or I could get there's the heavy weapon version, isn't there? There's an even larger one. Just want to call my work and tell them I'm too sick. See, I think that's too small. As delicate and as kind of subtle as I like things, I think that's probably a little bit too small. So I do actually think, because this was the other thing. That is that sits underneath the fist as well, doesn't it? So that attaches to the fist. So if that is about the same length as that, then it should work. I just think underslunging that would be cool as fuck. Yeah. I think if you go with that, go double Volkite, the Marine Volkite. What, you put two on both sides, two on each arm, and twin it up. I think if I do this, I have to use the heavy Volkite, whatever the heavy Volkite one is called, because this is just a special version, isn't it? That's just the special weapon version. There's a heavy version. I think if I do this, like, it's almost like that, isn't it? It's almost like a massive big one. Like that. Disintegrator. Underslung disintegrator. Do I do underslung disintegrators? Culverin, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. Rather than the melter, do I give the deliverer one the Gatling? That was the other kind of conversation I was having in my head. Yeah.
Hello all.
Oh, One Stop. How are you doing, dude? How are you doing? Do you want to see your doom? Do you want to see your doom? How cool is that, man? How cool is that? How unbelievably cool is that?
Hazardous anomaly detected. Quarantine
Looks like a
activated.
ragdoll for a Land Raider. Is that a Land Raider full of Terminators? Gatling would have the distraction dread as an anti-infantry only, I think. The Melter might make your opponent think it's a threat to everything, maybe not. Yeah, I think the Melter is probably the right. The Melter is probably the right call, because, like I say, it's like a distraction Khan effect, so it's going to be charging forward. It's going to be close to the enemy. Therefore, I think the Melter probably makes sense. I think the conversation with the Gatling is actually more, do I swap the heavy bolter for the Gatling and have Gatling Melter? That might be a bit more of an interesting conversation. But again, it's me just thinking too much about the role rather than what weapons are practical / useful / good. Beep beep. How are you doing, Stu? Are you having a good week? I mean, yeah, if you kill the tank, then I've not got much else that can kill your heavy armor. So I will have to do some maneuvering shenanigans, dude. Maneuvering shenanigans, as it is called. I was on holiday last week, back at work this week. Nice! It's all about range. I think Melter has similar ranges to the Heavy Bolter. Gatling would have the distraction. Looks like a right target for a Land Raider. Yeah, definitely Land Raider target vibes. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. How you doing, Sinister? How was holiday? Did you have fun? Did you have fun? Fun? Thank you for the resub, dude. That's really cool. That's really kind of you. Drank mead and walked around castle. I mean, that was a pretty good fucking holiday. Pretty good holiday.
Yes, I'm a gatekeeper and a hater. I'm also God's favourite princess and the most interesting girl in the world.
Is that Atari? It's Atari Tutu. Did they let you have a bow on the archery range? Hello, Tari. How are you, Tari Tutu? Hello, Tari Tutu. Yeah, I think that's all the white we need, isn't it? That is all the white we need. We don't need any more white. Thank you very much. Done. I do have, Stu, I do have my Mark IV. I do have my Mark IV now, though, so my reconnaissance squad is on the way. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I've got a Deliverer Dreadnought with Heavy Bolter and Multi-Melter. It's going to be good. The liability laws aren't fond. Thanks a lot for painting a tag. Hey, Nigma. How you doing, Nigma? Nigma, do you want me to put chat up so that you can talk to everybody? There you go. Nigma's here, everybody. Nigma is here. Sorry, Rich is just asking questions. As a former competitive archer and also a Viking, I disagree. I don't think mead and archery mix well. Yeah, I've never shot. I've never shot when I was drunk. Yeah, I've never shot when I was drunk. Our shooting accuracy, which we found very, very interesting, our shooting accuracy would always go down after lunch, because, and we kind of put it down to, like, before lunch you're hungry, so you need to be able to shoot well. Like at a core human level, you have to shoot well if you're hungry in order to kill stuff so that you can eat it. And then after after you've eaten, you don't need to shoot very well, so your archery accuracy went down. Yeah. You used to do archery. Nice one, Tari Tutu. I've shot while drunk, not bows though. Yeah, I was. I did a photo shoot for Archery International magazine. So one of my photos was on the cover of Archery International magazine once, which was quite cool. I quite enjoyed that. Quite nice. Do do do. William Tell. William Tell the music. Oh, I need to put some music on, don't I? Sorry. Oh, Stu. Do you want a revelation? Do you want a revelation, Stu? Are you ready? Are you sitting down, Stu? Are you sitting down? Because you're gonna like this. Actually, you're gonna like this. Revealed. So, do you want to know the history? Do you want to know the reasoning? Do you want to know the reasoning? I think you want to know the reasoning. Okay. Really, really simple. I've got fuckloads of I've got fuckloads of Horus Heresy Space Marines. I got so many. And the Night Lords, like I've done the Inducti, so I've got a unit of Inducti, which is cool. But then everything for the Night Lords, like I kind of want the Night Lords just to be Raptors and Terminators. Because the Terminators are really cool for Night Lords, and like all the characters are in Terminator armor. So at the most, maybe I could do like one more unit, but that still means I have like 40 or 50 fucking Space Marine bodies that I haven't allocated anywhere. Because the Dark Angels aren't going to have that, they aren't going to be that big, because they're going to have a Dreadnought, some Breachers, 2 units of Terminators, and a unit of the Knights. So, because that's just for Zone Mortalis, right? And then to expand upon that, I'm going to add tanks. So the Raven Guard, I've got loads of infantry, but I've also got loads of infantry. And then I've just bought the Mark IV, which I only need 12 of, and I get 20 in that box. So I've got another eight of those, plus another 10 jump pack Marines as well. So I've got all of those. Plus I've got like 40 Mark III. I've got 20 Mark II. So I've got fucking shitloads of Space Marines. Horus Heresy Space Marines. I was like, what army? Where do I put them? Because I don't need to put them in the Raven Guard, because the Raven Guard are fine. Like, the only thing I might need for the Raven Guard is maybe a heavy support Devastator squad of las cannons, because I think that kind of sounds kind of cool that like there's a las cannon unit right at the backfield, just like shooting over the tops of their heads kind of thing. So I could maybe possibly do a las cannon unit with Raven Guard, but I've already got like 20 Mark 6s which I haven't used yet, so I can just use some of them, and I've still got some Mark 6s left over. So I was like, well, what could we do with all the Space Marine bodies I've got left? And then Tari came up and said, what about Death Guard? I was like, well, actually maybe, like I don't like 40k Death Guard, but probably Horus Heresy Death Guard is kind of cool. So I was looking at these. So I'm gonna do, because I've got like 30 Mark III built, or at least the torsos are all built, and then I can allocate all the weaponry and everything. So I might do 10 or 5 Death Guard tactical squad, with just regular bolters, looking like this, and then I've got tons of tanks as well. So I'll maybe I'll do like this Predator. I'll do a Predator with Death Guard and see what that looks like. So might end up. Oh yeah, and then I've also got 10 Cataphracti Terminators as well, which I was going to use for Deliverers, but I don't have enough Lightning Claws. And then the new Cataphracti came out, so I was going to wait for the Assault version of the new Cataphracti to come out. Therefore, I've got 10 Cataphracti as well that I don't really know what to do with. So I could do those as Death Guard. So then, automatically, I've suddenly got like 1,000 points of Death Guard out of just using what I've got, kind of thing. So I might do something like this. So you're telling me you're doing Death Guard. That's a very long reason behind, yes, I think I'll probably do some Death Guard. Because the Night Lords have already got all the Terminators and everything. I'll probably grab one more unit of the Special Terminators. We need to wait for the Tartarus. As soon as new Tartarus comes out, that's perfect for Night Lords as well. So another unit of Tartarus can go for the Night Lords. And then I've just got shitloads of Marine bodies spare. So I'm going to put all the Marine bodies into Death Guard and see how that kind of comes out. That's the plan. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, that's that's cool. But yeah, it's basically just a really long way of me saying I'll probably do some Death Guard. Death Guard are always cool, really like them in the books. And I do like Morty. Like Morty as a Primarch is one of the best Primarchs, so I don't mind grabbing yet another Primarch, because then I'll have all the 4 Primarchs. And then I'll have 2 Traitor, 2 Loyalists. And an awful lot of Horus Heresy. Just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud live on Twitch with people going, yes, do that. Yes, Chris, buy all the things. Well, that's the thing. I'm not buying anything, am I? All I'm doing is making use of everything I've already got. That's the satisfying thing. That's what's satisfying about all of this. I'm just making use of everything I've already got. Like where can this go? Where can that go? Because I could just paint everything as Raven Guard, but actually I think that would be quite dull. And I could, and that would probably be about 10,000 points of Death Guard, of Raven Guard at that point. So I could just do that, but I don't know whether I want a Cerberus Tank Hunter in Death Guard colours, in Raven Guard colours. Do I want a Cerberus Tank Hunter in Raven Guard colours? Do I want a Sikaran Tank Hunter, whatever that's called? Do I want a Sikaran Tank Hunter in Raven Guard colours? Do I want a Vindicator in Raven Guard colours? Do I want a Scorpius Whirlwind in Raven Guard colours? Do I want a Spartan in Raven Guard colours? Like, really? If you get a Morty, you must have a consul named Rick. Not necessarily. So yeah, anyway, Stu, that's the plan. Long-term plan, of course. The short-term plan is to get the Raven Guard all ready to fall over to a stiff Iron Warriors breeze. I definitely need an Arctosaur Bombard. Yeah, I love the Arctosaurs. I really like the Arctosaurs. So if I do like doing the Death Guard, that will probably be a purchase, which I do, because they are really cool. I've not really bought that much. I've bought the Mark IV box. I bought the Mark IV box. I bought the Mark II Tactical Squad, and I bought. I think that's it. No, it can't be it. Oh, I bought a Dreadnought. Well, no, I didn't even buy a Dreadnought. I bought a Dreadnought weapon sprue. Yeah, I don't think I've actually bought anything, like, properly. Everything is just stuff that Games Workshop have very kindly sent that I've allocated in. Anyway. You want to do a clean Death Guard army for 40k, and that's what sparked that idea. Oh, the Arctosaur. Yeah, that would be really cool. I'm not very good at hiding it, Stu, but I am really excited to see your World Eaters develop. And you can, like, as you've seen with the Raven Guard, you can take your time. It's really satisfying. Yay! Yay! There we go. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, that's perfect, isn't it? That is perfect. Black, 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 and then the white accents. 3 white accents on this side, and you can see 2 white accents on that side. Well, I suppose you can kind of see 3 because you can see the top of that one. You need to get Typhon and his Grave Wardens. They are the stinky boys. I don't really like the Grave Wardens. Yeah, I don't really like the Grave Wardens. I like the Death Shroud. I do like the Death Shroud. Not. I think I'd rather lean into. Rather than the stinky side, I think I'd rather lean into like the patinaed, rusty, like that kind of side. Death Shroud are cool. I like the look of the Death Shroud. The Grave Wardens have Death Cloud, which does a number when doing hand-to-hand. Which does a number? Does a number of what? What's the, without talking rules, what are the Grave Wardens in the history? That's a better way of talking about stuff. If you can sell me on their history or something, or change my opinion / thoughts like that, that would be cool. I remember the whole point of the Death Guard is that I'm making use of all the Marine bodies which I've got. So I'd rather be like, oh, you should do a unit of destroyers with pestilence bombs or something. You like Cataphracti, but for some reason Tartarus armor just feels more Death Guardy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Tartarus whenever the new Tartarus comes out for the Night Lords. Because Tartarus is definitely Night Lordy. So they have a bunch of alchemical containment and projection equipment. Guys bring their own mist. Cataphracti pattern armor is perfect for Iron Legion, Space Wolves. Right. That is Evil Dead Burn finished. Let's put on Evil Dead Rise. With the final Mummy's back. Death Shroud are multi-bodyguards. Death Shroud are multi-bodyguards. Grey Wardens are just an elite unit that specialise in chemical weapons. So if you don't plan of multi-Death Shroud, should be left out too. I'm definitely doing multi-Death Shroud. Death Shroud on multi bodyguards. Grey Wardens are elite unit. Yeah, so I've got if I do 20 tactical squads, 20 tactical marines, and then you definitely got to do a destroyer squad, right? Because out of all the kind of the base Space Marine units, destroyer squads feel the most Death Guardy to me. Whether that is correct or not, I don't know. That's what it feels. I mean, do I do 2 destroyer units? 2 destroyer units would be hilariously brilliant. Do they need to be kitted out differently? Actually, what did destroyers are Volkite or plasma? Is that right? So I've done Volkite on the Raven Guard. So should I do plasma on the? Is that the weapon options for the destroyers? Volkite culverin, Volkite pistols, or plasma pistols? Destroyers are Rad and Chem. Right now they are in the Legends. What am I thinking of then? What am I thinking of that have got the twin Volkite Serpentas? I thought they were destroyer squads. The ones that have their armour like all scorched and burnt. Because I've done the Raven Guard have got the Raven Guard have got the assault destroyers as well, haven't they? Because I've done the destroyers, the normal destroyers with and given them a missile launcher, and then I've done the assault destroyers. I'm sure they were destroyers, weren't they? Death Guard definitely needs Vincidicors. What the fuck is a Vincidicor? And what's a Typhon? Is that a unit? Never heard of them. What are they? Oh, Vindicators. Well, I've got a Vindicator that I was going to do for the Night Lords. Although I think I've got a Typhon. I do have a Typhon, so the Typhon, yeah, the Typhon can go with Death Guard. That's cool. So the Vindicator can go with Night Lords, and then the Typhon can go with Death Guard. But what units? What? Just base infantry. What infantry? I've got 40 marine bodies to make use of for Death Guard. What do I do? What do I use? Like destroyer squad, but then I think I've got the destroyers wrong because Avian said destroyers are Rad and Chem. Tactical. Yeah, if I do I mean, if I've got 40 tactical marines, then I can do. If I do 20 tactical, if I've got 40 marine bodies, if I do 20 tacticals, and then like, I suppose I could do a heavy, because it was the heavy support Devastator unit with missile launchers. That would be quite cool, wouldn't it? So destroyers are 2 bolt pistols. Rad grenades, frag and crag. Oh, so it is destroyers. Okay, it is destroyers. Yeah, so the Volkite Serpentas. Or I could give them hand flamers. Hand flamers don't feel very Death Guard-y, do they? I suppose, maybe. Maybe, kind of, like Chem Flamers. I suppose you have to give them... like, grenades in their hand instead. Yeah. I've got to make more underslung missile launchers. Oh, breaches. Breaches. Okay, now just randomly, because it doesn't quite fit, but I've got so many of them they kind of need to fit somewhere. Where do assault Marines fit into Death Guard, if at all? Do I do regular just assault Marines in terms of chainsaw bolt pistol, or do I do like destroyer assault Marines? Are there any other Marine units that can have the assault jump packs on? Don't think so. It's only those two, isn't there? So I suppose you could do veteran assault and give them some interesting weapons, like give them disintegrator weapons or something. Or I could do a disintegrator unit. I could do a veteran tactical squad with some cool Death Guard-y weapons. Death Guard transfers would look sick on those shields. Shields would look really good. Shields would look really good on Death Guard because you could rust them up really well. The round shields from the Assault Marines look really good. Oh, that's a good call. Death Guard Assault Marine unit would be like a trench shock type unit. So I could do an assault, because you can just do them in units of 5, can't you? If you did like a veteran assault unit, you could do an assault unit, Mark II assault unit with like shields and clubs, shields and like power maces. Be kind of cool, maybe. It's really weird because I've just got so many. I've got so many assault. I've got so many assault units and models, but none to do any. Like I need to convert some Raptors for the Night Lords at some point, so they'll get converted up. But why not go with Vet Breaches? Vet Breaches would be cool as well, wouldn't it? Because then we can use that Breacher squad. So what would you do? Shield and can you give them all like funky Death Guard special weapons? What is what is? What is the where is it? Flamer, Graviton gun, Lascutter, Melter gun, Volkite charger. Okay, Not really. Oh, I need the levers. I need the levers. I need the levers so I can find out all the stuff, all the special Legion specific equipment stuff. Back in the Heresy, as the Millennium has gone on, entirely abandoned the use of assault troops. They still used a few. Yeah, vet breaches. Vet breaches, tactical squad, destroyer squad, and then the kind of the heavy support, that cool kind of heavy support squad. Breaches and destroyers for sure. Stuff like cleaning out enemy firing positions. Yeah, that should be a good kind of little starting point, wouldn't there? Are there any other kind of like funky little clever units which maybe they used on like Istvan or something? It's just tactical squads, really, isn't it? It's just tactical squads. Tactical squads. I'll do 5 tactical squads and see how they look, and that will look really cool as well with this kind of basing style as well, because it will be like you can really kind of lean into the rust. Really lean into the rust. So a nice big anvil, and then the death shroud and things. I'm not going to grab any new stuff. I'm not going to get any new stuff for the Death Guard like that. That will be until I'm at least kind of committed to, okay, yeah, these are really cool. After doing like 20 tacticals or 10 tacticals and some destroyers, and like make use of all the stuff I've got, paint up a couple of tanks, and then if I go, yeah, these are kind of cool, then I'll go and grab the Death Shroud and things. That's the best way to do that. Because I've still got to do the Night Lords. The Night Lords take so long because you've got to sculpt the skin and paint all the lightning and everything. I have access to all the regular units, and they could look into the legends for special units without models. They have access to all the regular units, and you could look into the legends for special units. Could do a special weapon squad or 2 flamers. Yes! Special weapon squads are like, the tactical special weapon squads are like units of 5, aren't they? So you could do... oh no, hang on, wasn't it the veteran tactical squad that can use the special weapons? Because that's what I had to use for my disintegrator unit for my Raven Guard. Oh, they're 10-man units, 10-man flamers. I mean, I do have, or 10-man melter would look cool. 10-man melter would look cool. 10-man melter or 10-man flamer. That might be that might be a really cool kind of alternative. That might be a really cool little alternative, just doing... Just doing a big unit with flamers rather than a whole unit with bolters. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, yeah. I like that. 10-man Horus Heresy Flamer unit. And then you could do... So is this a Raven Guard tank? It is indeed. Do you like it, Tari Tutu? So I'm going to put the Raven Guard chapter symbol is going to go there. And then we're going to put loads of markings all around here. Maybe like a small white chapter symbol here or something. And then it's got the big barrels on there. It's big. It's actually quite small. So that's that, and then that is a Predator. So it's only just larger than a Predator. It's like that much larger than a Predator, and also it's a really fast tank. So it's really, really quick in terms of how fast it can move and how well it can kind of keep up with everything. So it's a really good Raven Guard tank for kind of speed and keeping up with the with everything. So yeah, the idea is to have this and then 2 little sabers, which are also kind of like mini one-man fast tanks. So that will be the only tanks that I need in the army then. So the Raven Guard, the only tanks that will be in the Raven Guard army are this one and those 2 little sabers either side, which will be quite nice. And then all the big stuff just goes everywhere else. Goes on the Dark Angels, the Night Lords, the Death Guard. Like the massive, I've got a massive Typhon Spartan Vindicator, which is perfect for Death Guard actually. That is perfect for Death Guard, like Sinister said earlier. So yeah, that one will definitely go Death Guard. Because then the tiny version is will go for the Night Lords. So this little Vindicator, that little Vindicator can go to the Night Lords. Pew pew pew, which would be perfect. So that'll be all good. That's the plan. There's my throne list. If anybody is interested in having a quick look. But yeah, I think that I think that should be quite fun. And I will do it. I will do the Death Guard. The Death Guard I will probably do airbrushed. Again, same as the Dark Angels and the Night Lords. The Night Lords definitely need airbrushing, like I said, because they've got so much detail that you then paint on them. I don't want to be that far behind in the painting kind of time scale to hand paint them all. Unlike the Raven Guard, because the Raven Guard are just black and white. So you can get away with brush painting all the Raven Guard. Particularly when you can see how quickly you can do stuff like this. Do 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 do. Perfectamundo. Nearly out of tea, so I'm going to go make a cup of tea. Well, I am out of tea, so I'm going to go make a cup of tea. Oh, do I need to do... Yeah, the exhausts are okay black, aren't they? The exhausts are okay black. I think that's about as much white as we need, I think. And then we can do some... We can break up the black with like some little text stuff. Like Vittoris Almortis and stuff on here, so we can put that on there. We can put some X1X on here. We can put a little chapter symbol on here. We can put some numbers. It's not going to have. Do tanks have, Avian? You'll know this. Do tanks have like squad markings or anything on them? Because there's not a lot of space, but we could put like I don't know whether they have a. I don't know whether they need to have like a 1 here or something. Right, I'm going to go make a cup of tea. I will be right back, everybody. If you guys need a break, definitely get up and go and have a little bit of a stretch. And I will be right back, and then we'll carry on with more tanking because this is cool. Okay, we are back. We're back, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Just rewind what I missed in Evil Dead. There we go. Perfect. I do like the lift scene as well. Right. Yes. How is everybody doing? Right. We need to get some. Colours in here. There we go. Brill. Bone break. Oh, so well shot, that bone break. Anyway,
Yeah, but we can always build more killbots.
How you doing? Why don't I use the Foam Throw Pro? We'll do the Foam Throw Pro for the chipping. But this, I want a little bit more control. The Foam Throw Pro doesn't have very much control of like glazing and stuff. This is more expressive, and I've got more control over what's happening here. How are you? You abide. You abide. Oh. I do have my fruit and nut here as well. What do you think? What do you think, Target? I've been talking a little bit about the Death Guard as well. About what models might use for the Death Guard. I'm going to try and do the Death Guard with some airbrush, but I added the cowl. I thought it just needed just one more tiny bit of white, so we added the shroud, which I think works. I don't know whether to make that white. I don't think so. I think we kind of leave that either black or metallic. I don't think that needs to be white, but so you got three kind of kicks of white from that angle, and then we've sort of got 3 kicks of white from this angle, because you've got the top one over there. But I think it looks cool. The texture your method achieves looks really nice. Yes. Well, I mean that's kind of what I've done with the whole army, if you remember. Like there's texture on the entire army, because otherwise it's just black, and I didn't really want just black. So yeah, that's why everything's been done with the brush, which I really like. Then you can obviously soften everything down if you need to. Yeah, ultimately, I'm really happy with this, and I'm really glad that I've done a tank. Obviously, we have the red one that we've done, so we'll try and get a few of these kind of dusty bits in this one for sure. It's a bit quiet. The microphone's a bit far away, to be fair. There you go. And I wasn't talking into the thing. It was good enough for Johnny Cash. And I was talking over here as well, rather than talking into the microphone. There's a lot of things to get right when you stream. Do I need to explain who Johnny Cash was? I know who Johnny Cash was. I've lost what the conversation was about. It's good enough for Johnny Cash. What were we talking about? She means being all black. Oh! Yeah, because he always used to wear black, yeah. Gotcha. He's the man in black. Also Dark Tower and the Gunslinger, right? Fucking hell, it's warm. Is it warm where you are, Tatari 2? Is it warm down in Kensington? Is it warm down in Kensington? Mummy's back. Not as warm as it has been. It's still 28. Yeah, it's really warm today. It is really warm today. I think it's because there's no breeze today. It's just really muggy. It's really muggy here today. So the sun's out. Yeah, there's just no breeze. I'm not getting any breeze. Uh, 29 utterly devoid of any wind whatsoever. Yeah, it's not like when there's no wind, it just kind of, the air just kind of settles and it just gets hot, doesn't it? So it's not particularly good. Oh, my airbrush, by the way, my airbrush is has been shipped. So my airbrush is on the way. And I don't know what everybody thinks about this, but can you remember when I did my freehand of the skull and I brush painted it? What does everybody think about me trying to airbrush a skull? Because I think that might be quite fun. That might be quite interesting. What brush are you getting? I'm getting the. They're sending me the Aventus, the gallery stuff that I was showing off a couple of days ago. So I'll put the hang on, let me put the link up in chat if anybody wants to go and have a look. So that's the link, but it looks really good. It's got some really interesting design cues on it. I've talked to a few artists who have used it as well, and obviously Gallery reached out to see if I wanted to try one. But yeah, they're really nice. I showed them on stream last week, and they also do. I mean, look at this one. This one is ridiculous. They've got a Shadowfax and a Fireblood. One's what I think one's 1.4 and one's one's 0.4 and one's 0.2. So yeah, they're lovely. What's the needle gauge? Depends which one you get. So the Aventus comes in a 0.2 and a 0.4. So yeah, it's they're really nice. So I will let you know. I will let you know when it arrives, and we'll obviously do a thing. And I think just because there's an airbrush channel that I follow on YouTube that did like here's a really quick kind of like here's a really quick airbrush skull sketch, and I was like, oh, I wonder whether that would be quite cool to do. So I might try once this comes. I think that might be quite a nice, interesting, like little painting thing where we can just kind of settle down, and I'll just get a piece of paper from my like sketchbook or something and see if I can freehand a skull with an airbrush. I think that might be quite fun. But yeah. Hey Miniature, how are you doing? Miniature Painter. Fireblood is a deep cut, 'tis indeed. Everybody knows Shadowfax. What's the needle gauge? So yeah, that should be quite good. Right, let's get where are we? Where are we? Let's get there it is. Sorry, I've just got to get Evil Dead back up. So yeah, when that arrives, I think I will play around with a little bit of airbrush sketching, see what I can do. I mean, I can't draw, so not a particularly high chance of me being able to do it, but at least it'll be a cool little airbrush day thing. Pretty good. Pretty good. Right, shall we get some metallics on? Shall we get some metallics on, or shall we do some more? Shall we do some more black? So I think the white grey isn't a million miles off. It's not a million miles off being okay now. Black out. Now let's do all of this side. That won't work. No, that one. There we go. Okay, so let's do all of this side. All of this side in black. Doing good. I should be getting a Gallery Turbo Mini. Oh, nice one, miniature. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get the that little mini compressor as well to try. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out. Need to head to the shops. Bye! See you later, behave. Me? Behave, Tari. You've never used an airbrush kit before? Ah. Well, if you want to wait for my review shouldn't be too long. Because I will do, well, not really review, I will do an unboxing and like breakdown if you want to kind of get familiar with the airbrush when it arrives. I'll do a breakdown video pretty quickly when it does. There's some really nice little features which I want to kind of shout out and show as well. Yeah, it should be quite cool. I'm quite interested to airbrush a skull. I think that would be quite cool. I'll tell you what I could do. I could airbrush a skull on the Reaver Titan panel. Maybe not. Maybe I don't go straight to a Reaver Titan panel. Maybe I'll start on a bit of paper, but that could be quite interesting. So that's that side done. Let's do the top side. Let's do all the top side now. Exactly the same idea. My Raven Guard mix, which is pretty much Corvus Black. It's just a slightly different hue, but it's pretty much Corvus Black. Okay. And then this needs to be, this turret does need to be black, doesn't it? Let's turn that round. Hey Gagulu, how you doing, man? This looks so relaxing. Yeah, it is. It is for me. I find it really relaxing. How are you getting on? Oh. Doing well. Wish I was a little more Pantheon patient, but you know how, oh, mate, I rage quit. I rage quit Pantheon last night, like 3 days ago, like a week ago. It's making me so cross. I did put. Because I haven't put any videos up because I don't want to be so grumpy about it. I did put a big Rogue feedback post up this morning, which has actually got some good interactions with the devs, which is nice. So at least that feels like something, but I don't know what they're doing. Like, the game doesn't work, so what are we supposed to be testing? I was tanking last week as a rogue because the Dire Lord couldn't hold threat, so I just held threat. And the broken druid kept me alive. It's just like, what the fuck? So, whatever. But yeah, I get to hang out and paint and chill with everybody, so it's all still good. Decent painting now. And I know I should expect it all to be broken when it does. It's utterly infuriating when they put something in that they know that they're going to have to go back and readdress. And this is something so simply stupid, like the masteries on the wizard, for instance, say to get this mastery. On all the other stuff, it says to get this mastery, you have to have 5 points in whatever side that is. So either it's in the Nightmare side or Carnage side or whatever. The Wizard one, and this is such a petty thing to kind of notice and pick up on, but it's absolutely their kind of MO. The Wizard side says must have 5 points in left, must have 10 points in right. So rather than doing it right first time, they've typed it all in, and now they've got to go back to every single ability that they've put in the game already and changed left to what are the wizard ones called? Blade Singer? Anyway, like the Wizard Blade or the Elemental Wizard or whatever. Like this, so they've just got to go into every single ability that they've literally just sat there and typed all up, and they've got to go into every single one and change left to. And that sort of thing runs through the whole game at the moment, and it's completely infuriating. But we played a little bit last night. Sarlor doesn't give a shit about gear. He's just pressing every button to see what's broken. And hanging out with friends and just laughing at the state of the game. Which is pretty embarrassing for them, I would say. The Dire Lords last week, being one of the 3/5 tanks in the game, couldn't hold threat, so a rogue was tanking. That was the state of the game last week. We don't need good games, just good company. The thing is, I don't mind. I will bug report for days. If I'm enjoying the game and it's kind of vaguely interesting and it works, I will bug report for days, like I did. I bug reported. I think I had 72 bug reports in 2 weeks on the Rogue, when it was like enjoyable and fun and like the game was working and things were happening and stuff. The game doesn't work at the moment. Threat doesn't work. None of the abilities work. Everything is bugged. Everything is broken. Like as long as you have a druid, you're invulnerable. Like it's just not fun. So, oh dear. Only DPS tanks can hold aggro, and you know why? Because they flipped it. It's like this ability should give threat. Oh no, this ability actually takes away threat. So all the threat sides of all the tanks, they've just gone, oh, I'm sorry, we got it the wrong way round. Never mind. I did a rogue post. Did a rogue post earlier, and a couple of the devs have reached out and said, could you just expand on this point, please? Could you just explain why this and things? So I will happily do that after the stream. But I specifically haven't done any videos because I would just end up being so cross, and that's not the content I want to put out. I really thought this week I might be able to do a patch notes video, but I'm still cross about this patch notes video, so I didn't. I still didn't. Stop damage shield from breaking Mez already. Like, please. Like, when? What order of operations have you got in your coding that allows damage to happen after a mob is messed? They've all been bugs that have been around pre-PTR. I think a few of mine have been, but most of the rogue ones have been specific. And I was starting to, because like I'd run out of rogue bugs, so I started like just sending in grammar and spelling and things and graphic layout and stuff, because that's like my jam. That's my background and stuff. So I started putting in like grammar and editorial things, which surprisingly Sav thanked me for, which was good. But yeah, I've kind of stopped now. Like it's just whatever. So anyway, I've got to do a follow up to my feedback post once I've finished stream. See if that changes anything. Probably won't. But the way the masteries are going, I'm really not looking forward to the rogue one, because the reason I like the rogue is that it's such a toolbox. It's the same with the enchanter and the necro, right? It turns out that my kind of class is a really toolboxy class. Like, you can shift and you can pivot and you can be really reactive in the game, or you can be proactive when you see things about to happen and stuff. And the way the masteries are playing out, I think that's going to go on the rogue. I don't think they're going to be very toolboxy. I think everything is going to be hidden behind the mastery. I think you're only going to be able to have like a handful of things. You're not going to be able to get all the toolbox, which is fair enough. Like, I don't want all the toolbox, but I want the vast majority of it. I just don't think that's going to be accessible and doable, which is going to be sad, to be honest. But we will see. We don't know yet. We don't know at the moment. So, but extrapolating out and just kind of like taking into context all the other masteries and the restrictions that are in the mastery trees. Like, I don't like the restrictions in the mastery trees. To get this node, you have to have 40 points into mastery. No, I'm not sure. Not sure I like that. Chasing spelling exams and grammar mistakes is the most boring thing imaginable, so the more other people do that for you, the better. Yeah, like that's I spot grammar and spelling and layout. Like the amount of orphan messages that I've put in, like there's an orphan here, there's a widow there, kind of thing on the text layout stuff. So, like I say, that's kind of what I did for years at Games Workshop, actually, if anybody's interested. So that seems to have been thanked. Let's put a tiny bit of highlights on some of these and just see where we can take this. Because, for instance, so have you stepped away from, what are you playing at the moment? You stepped away from Pantheon until the Enchanter. Why are they obsessed, Gulu? Why are they absolutely obsessed with cooldowns? Like, the Rogue Mez was so good because it was instant recast, which I understand is incredibly powerful. And then the Enchanter, the nuke, has now gone to like 6-second cooldown. It's just like, I'm sorry, you can't do that more than once every 6 seconds. We're not allowing you to do that much DPS. Like, the Enchanter has such a limited role, but such a specialised role, not limited, such a specialised role. If the choice of, okay, this seems like a quiet fight, I'm going to dump some of my mana into DPS. Why is that not a appropriate thing to want to do? Because you have resource, you have mana. It's not like you can do it forever. If you use the mana resource, you've then got to sit down and med it back a little bit, so you stay like mana positive, just in case something does go wrong. But if the current fight is nice and safe, why are they limiting how you spend your mana? Why that's I get it for a DPS class, like zero cooldown nukes for a wizard would be stupid. And they probably, to be fair, they probably have some, because wizards just seem to be ridiculous anyway. Why did they give him a mana-free nuke? I think as an enchanter you should be able to dump mana into DPS, just not as efficiently as... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why did they give them a mana-free nuke? Because everybody is supposed to have a cantrip, isn't it, for the early levels? But hilariously, they're all on different cooldowns, aren't they? So you can just chain all the mana-free nukes as well. Just do it even 80% right first time. Just do it 80% right first time. I can't wait. The one benefit to all this ridiculously stupid buggy shit game is that when the masteries come in for the rogue, if I'm not backstabbing for like 2,000 or like, well, I mean, to be fair, the Dire Lord, my Dire Lord that I was playing with was hitting for 10,000. He had a 10,000 point crit on more than one occasion. So if I'm not backstabbing for 10,000 when the rogue masteries come in because they've accidentally put 500% rather than 5% in the rogue masteries, I'm gonna be very grumpy. Like, you let everybody else get bugged. Oh dear. I was really cross with that as well. I was really cross with the mana-free nuke that was doing 6,000 damage for the enchanter. I was really cross when they brought that in, because they had that exactly the same situation in the wizard and the cleric. You'd think they'd go, right, okay, before we put a mana-free nuke in, let's just check these 3 nodes to make sure that we've got weapon damage scaling correct, to make sure we got damage correct, and to make sure that we got cooldown correct. Let's just check those 3 things, or let's just check all the aspects of actually putting in data onto an ability before we put this one out onto live server, because that was a complete waste of a week's worth of data again. Anyway. Yeah, 10,000 point backstabs, please. Hey, perps. Sorry, I'm having a rant at Pantheon because it's making me very cross at the moment. It's my favourite game and they're just fucking it up. All they actually want us to do, Gulu, this is actually what they want us to do. They just want us to go and press all the ability buttons and say, yep, that works, no, that doesn't. That's all they want. So I'll tell you what, get it 80% right, and then we'll go and press all the buttons and check. But to not even get it like 10% right, and to need your players to go, guys, this doesn't even stun a mob. This ability, the rogues, Gulu, the rogues have an ability that stuns a mob, okay? The ability at the moment, A, doesn't stun the mob, B, doesn't last for 3 seconds, and C, stuns us. Like, how do you fail that badly? How do you fail that badly? This ability is supposed to do 3 things, it doesn't do any of them. Oh dear God. How you doing, Perpsicles? You need to play this game. No, you don't. You don't, Perps. You can play it for free if you want to. Guys, give me a second. I need to stun myself. It's just... Anyway, I've got to reply to the devs later for some feedback. How annoying were the mezzes when they first came in, Gulu, with the like, oh, I'm sorry, you can only cast this mez once every 30 seconds. Oh, it resisted. Sucks to be you. Oh, dear God. The mob will be laughing so hard that you can just kill it. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, you got a resist? Oh yeah, I forgot we put resist in the game. Never mind. We'll just let these like 18 mobs just beat on the rest of your group for you while you just sit there and wait for a cooldown to go away. Anyway, yes, we are painting a tank. We're painting a tank at the moment. We're painting a tank. And we are trying to get all the highlights and everything in the right place, and then we can blend and soften the highlights out a little bit, but we've got to get the location right first, and then once we get the location right and everything, we can then kind of soften things down, which will be really, really cool. Really, really good fun. Let's put that there. Let's do this side first. Let's do this side first.
Tank.
Oh, up to no good. How are you doing, dude? Oh, there's my throne list as well. My throne list. If anybody wants to help out the stream and things. Up to no good. How are you?
Navy blue rhymes with poo. Scrape it off my butt and wipe it on you.
I'm doing good. Have you been good? I have. Thank you very much. I have. You know what would be even funnier if you resist your own self-stun? So that would be funny. That would be funny, Purples. However, the way they've got the coding in the game, players can't actually resist anything. So mobs can resist stuff, but heaven forbid players actually resist stuff. No. You always get hit for full damage all the time. Even if the mob is like 27 levels below you, it will still nuke you for full damage. Wait, what? Yeah. They've got some fucked up formulas, honestly, Perps. They've got some fucked up formulas. So they have the con system, right, where you have like you con the mob and it says what kind of colour con mob it is, and as soon as the mob turns grey con, which means it's like 10 levels below you, so you don't get any experience for it, and at which point you should be able to just absolutely decimate this mob. These grey con mobs are still quite regularly killing players. It is quite funny. It is quite funny. I've coined the phrase Pantheon Rise of the Obnoxious, because that's apparently the direction that the devs want to go. They just want to be obnoxious to us. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if we got all the players to do this big long thing and then we eventually just give them a rat tail? You wanted hardcore? You wanted hardcore? I'll give you hardcore. Right. It's not looking bad, is it? It's not looking bad. Oops. Right, let's do the other side. Flip that round. We'll just do this side. This side should be quite good because we've got this bit here as well. So we've got all of this, which is going to be perfect for this kind of turquoisey highlight as well. Splash of anthracite. The whole tank is based around anthracite. You know that. You know that. The whole Raven Guard colour scheme is based around anthracite. a post-credit scene after Evil Dead Rise? I think there is, isn't there? Yeah, because it's Jessica, isn't it, going back into the... Yeah, there is. That's where Jessica starts. There we go. Right. There we go, everybody. Alright. It's my mum's birthday today, so I'm going to go and have birthday dinner with a mum, and I think sisters are going around, so I'm going to do that. See if anybody is around. Avelia's on. Send you to Avelia, everybody. Alright. Have a good one, everybody. Have a good evening. I'll see you next week. Super cool. Super cool. Please, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. We can soften all this down, glaze everything together, battle damage it up and everything. See you later, Gula.